Hi, this is Will Walker with Sacred Heart Night Vision. Today we're here with Jackson Mayor hopeful Scott Conger. Thank you for coming out today.
Thanks for having me today.
So you won the popular vote in the May election. Can you explain to us why you're in a runoff with Dr. Woods?
Yeah, so the mayor's race is unique for the city of Jackson. It has to be a 50% plus one of the votes cast for the winner to be declared, and none of us got 50% plus one. And so the top two vote getters get to go to the June 18th runoff.
So many people thought in the very beginning of this race that you were long shot, so to say. What worked so well in your campaign for you to be successful?
I don't know if many is a good word to describe a long shot. But I think what we did, we realized that we didn't have the money that some of the other campaigns had. We had to own and live in a space, and we decided that digital and social media was going to be the place where we lived and owned, outside of making phone calls and knocking on doors and that sign placement throughout the city. We spent our money on advertising majorly on Facebook, Instagram, and then digital ads through Google and YouTube. And you look at a CPM on that is 8 cents per impression. When you're looking at just running one commercial in a prime time spot on TV, that's $750. And so we can target and direct however we want to in social media. So that was really where we saw the advantage in our advertising.
So as a young person, many people don't take us seriously. Did you intentionally go after the younger voters, and how did you connect with them?
I think, a mayor of Jackson has to be able to connect with all demographics. And so while we wanted to encourage the young voters that haven't statistically and historically been out and voted in local elections, we wanted to make sure that we connect with all demographics, and that was through our advertising. Everybody's on Facebook. My grandmother's 89 years old this year. She's on Facebook, and so we didn't really limit the advertising demographics to a certain age group. Different messages we did, but the general messaging was geared more towards everyone. That we had some messaging that went straight to the more experienced population. Some went toward the younger population. Then some of our mailers went out. We made the conscious decision not to send any pieces of mail to anyone under 55 because the likelihood of them to read it and it to resonate was very low.
So if you do win this election, what are some things you want to see right off the bat?
Our whole campaign's been about efficiency, transparency, and inclusivity. And so we need to look at ways that we can drive efficiency in everything that we do in government. That's going to take care of some of our expenditures and the cost of what government is. As people start to retire, how we can utilize their positions to alleviate some of the costs and expenditures by bringing in technology. To give you an example, I served on the city council for 6.5 years. A few years ago, I looked at trying to implement a 311 technology, which was a hotline that went to central dispatch. But the really neat thing was it was a mobile app. So if there's a pothole out on your street, you can go take a picture of it, geotag it, send it to the right department. At that time, that was $24,000 to onboard, $12,000 a year to maintain. If we're having 2 people to answer the phone to do that same thing, and we're paying them salaries, retirement, benefits, vacation, we're spending around $90,000 a year on something that we could use a piece of technology for and spend $12,000 a year. And so driving efficiency, getting more people involved, looking at how we can bring our budget more in line with what we have to spend instead of overspending what we've been doing the past few years.
So would you ever consider someone like me to be a vice mayor?
You 18 yet?
No, sir.
Oh, so that's first right. So the second thing is, in the way our government is, the charter is constructed, a city council person serves as vice mayor. And so they get a 1-year term, and they're elected by the other council members. So that's our vice mayor role now. We have a lot of other places in the city that could add value, and I'd love to have someone like you there.
Well, thank you so much for your time and coming back to speak with us at Sacred Heart. We wish you the best of luck.
Oh, thank you for having me.